One Piece's Egghead Island arc is currently incredibly intense, in which Oda has ensured to take fans all over the world and not just focus on the Straw Hat Pirates. One of the most important places that the story has taken the fans in the Egghead arc is the Holy Land of Mary Joy. Quite recently, it was revealed that the Holy Knights, stationed at Mary Joy, were going to make a move soon, and their leader, Saint Garling Figarland, is going to be extremely important in the story moving forward. Saint Garling was first seen executing Saint Nielsgard for helping the Blue Sea Dwellers. Immediately upon his introduction, fans knew that this character would become extremely important later on in the story, especially since he has ties to Shanks. Now, Oda has revealed a younger version of Garling Figarland on God Valley, as well as revealed bits about his powers, to some extent. Who is Garling Figarland? Garling Figarland is one of the most powerful people in the world government. When one talks about power, here, it means that they are strong physically and, at the same time, that they yield a lot of authority as well. Garling has access to both, given that he's the leader of the Holy Knights, and he is believed to be one of the strongest people in terms of strength as well. His authority is such that he can pass judgment even on regular celestial dragons. Saint Nielsgard is an incredibly powerful man when it comes to authority, given that he's a part of the celestial dragons and thus worthy of being called a god of the world. However, Garling Figarland is so powerful that he can pass judgment on him, along with every single other celestial dragon as well. The Figarland family itself is a part of the 20 families that join together to create the world government. It is clear that the Figarland family existed long ago in the Void Century as well and banded together with the other families to destroy the ancient kingdom. Their current leader is Saint Garling Figarland, and he is certainly very powerful, possibly right next to the 5 elders. Fans are going to see a lot of him in the final saga, especially now that he's set to make a move against Dragon and the Revolutionary Army very soon. Young Garling Figarland on God Valley. In One Piece Chapter 1095, a lot of information about God Valley was revealed to the fans, thanks to a flashback of the Buccaneer race. In this flashback, it was revealed that the Celestial Dragons hold a tournament every 3 years on different islands that are not affiliated with the world government. There, they release slaves from different races, and then hold a competition to murder all of them. The last surviving slave is spared while all the other races are, apparently, eradicated. Most races that are forced to take part in this game are eradicated, and the one who likely gets the most kills would be declared as the champion. 38 years ago, it was Saint Garling, one of the members of the Celestial Dragons, who was believed to be the favorite to win these games. He was revealed as one of the most well-equipped Celestial Dragons taking part in the game. In terms of his outfit, he was dressed exactly like Celestial Dragons. However, when looking at his face, he looks like an exact copy of Shanks. The only difference is that he sports a very different hairstyle, which was revealed to be a crescent moon earlier in the Egghead arc. He also wields a powerful sword, as was revealed in the flashback of the God Valley. How strong is Garling Figarland? Garling Figarland is most certainly one of the strongest celestial dragons to have appeared in One Piece. The vast majority of these people are very weak, and most of the time, they look like they are mentally challenged to some degree. However, some of them appear to be quite powerful. These are the likes of the 5 elders and, now, Saint Garling as well. Immediately upon his introduction, fans could tell that he was very powerful. The fact that he shares the blood of Shanks only makes him even stronger. His sword is quite a fancy one, and he would not wield it had he not known how to use it. 38 years ago, in God Valley, he was believed to be the favorite to become the champion of God Valley, and that is a title that he holds to this day. The fact is that he managed to survive the onslaught on God Valley that took place later on, and he has maintained a position of power to this day. This automatically means that Garling Figarland is extremely powerful. If that wasn't enough, then fans should know that Saint Garling is also the head of the Holy Knights. Dragon himself is wary of the Holy Knights, and that in itself gives fans an idea of how strong he must be. Fans should absolutely expect him to be a user of Haki, potentially all 3 types, given that Shanks has access to them as well, and he is Shanks' father, most likely. Whether he has a devil fruit ability or not has not been revealed just yet. However, if he does have this power, fans should not be surprised. This is because every single member of the 5 elders appears to have a very powerful ability, and for the head of the Holy Knights to have one as well should not be surprising at all. Overall, in terms of strength, Garling Figarland should not be any weaker than an admiral of the Navy. Why is Garling Figarland called the Champion of God Valley? Saint Garling Figarland is known by the title of Champion of God Valley. This is likely down to the fact that he won the games that were conducted in God Valley 38 years ago. This means that he was the one who hunted down most slaves and was awarded the title of champion. This title has been carried by him to this day. While this could be the simple reason as to why he is called the Champion of God Valley, there could also be a deeper meaning. The games were held by celestial dragons in God Valley 38 years ago. In the same year, God Valley was attacked by the Rocks pirates. It is highly likely that the Rocks pirates attacked God Valley at the same time when these games were going on. If Garling Figarland took part in the war against the Rocks pirates, he could then have made a great name for himself there as well, further consolidating his name as the champion. Of course, while this is likely to have occurred, it has not been confirmed in the story just yet. For that to happen, fans will have to sit tightly for a few more weeks. And in other news, One Piece, 8 strongest characters in God Valley. Eventually, many powerful forces assembled here and took part in a giant event that came to be known as the God Valley Incident. With the current events on Egghead, more information about the God Valley has been revealed, and, over the years, some of the strongest characters in the world of One Piece have made their presence known on this island. Kaido. Kaido was one of the 4 emperors of the sea until recently. During the time of the God Valley Incident, Kaido went to God Valley. He was still very young and certainly far from his prime. He also did not have his devil fruit at the time, which once again indicates that he was not all that strong. Yet, he was one of the few survivors from God Valley. He was saved by Big Mom, who ended up giving him his devil fruit, the Yo-Yo no Mi model, Saryu. Shiki. Shiki was an underling of Rocks and a very powerful pirate during this time. However, even he was far from his prime during the God Valley Incident. Yet, he likely took part in this war and ended up fighting against the Celestial Dragons and, most likely, the Navy as well. What happened to Shiki during this war is unknown. Fans do not know if he was defeated, or if he retreated or simply did not take part at all. Much about this incident remains covered in mystery. However, what fans can be sure about is the fact that Shiki had only just started his pirating journey to the top. Charlotte Linlin. Charlotte Linlin was a powerful pirate present on Rock's crew. Fans know that she went on to become one of the 4 emperors of the sea in the future of One Piece. However, at this time, she was not in her prime. Still, fans can be sure that Linlin was likely much stronger than Kaido at this point in the story, given that she used to look after him and was also the only reason why he survived to live as long as he did. Linlin was very powerful and, given the fact that she saved Kaido, it can be assumed that she was not defeated in this war. How exactly she retreated from God Valley remains unknown at this point in time. Edward Newgate. Just like Linlin, Newgate was also far from his prime during the God Valley Incident. At this point, he was likely much stronger than the likes of Kaido. Fans know him to be a fully grown pirate at the time of the God Valley Incident. He was also likely second to Rocks himself. It is likely that he did not have the name Whitebeard at the time, given that he had not started his crew yet and was likely not as famous all over the world. However, after the fall of Rocks, he went his own way and created his own pirate crew. What he did in God Valley is unknown at the moment. Garling Figarland. Garling Figarland is one of the celestial dragons who stems from the Holy Figarland family and the man known as the Champion of God Valley. He was seen in God Valley during the God Valley flashback. In terms of appearance, he looked just like Shanks back then, with a different hairstyle. In terms of power, fans can also expect him to be tremendously strong, given that he shares his bloodline with the red-haired emperor. As the Champion of God Valley, it can be considered that he used to take part in the tournament held in God Valley. His strength must have been immense, however, fans have not seen much of that just yet. Garp. The legend of the naval hero, Garp, began in God Valley nearly 38 years ago. On that day, he teamed up with Roger and took on Rocks, the mightiest pirate of the time. Together, these two managed to defeat him. However, all credit for this was given to Garp. Given that he was strong enough to take on Rocks and even defeat him, one can assume that he was certainly among the strongest fighters in God Valley. Roger. Roger was a known enemy of Rocks at this time. According to Sengoku, Rocks was the biggest enemy that Roger ever faced in his life, even bigger than Whitebeard. These two characters had a rivalry that finally concluded in God Valley. With the help of Garp, was successful in defeating Rocks for good. Although he did not get any credit for it, his power had only started to grow even further. Rocks, quite easily, the strongest character to have ever stepped foot on God Valley, according to the knowledge of the readers at the moment, is Rocks. He led his entire crew, the Rocks Pirates, to God Valley and attacked celestial dragons. Eventually, he was faced by the combined force of Roger and Garp. Together, these two ended up defeating Rocks and crushed his pirate crew for good. That's a wrap for this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more amazing videos very soon.